I have Nene here. Hi, Nene.
Hi, Jessica.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure is all mine.
Guys, I am going to give, this is like, no, I was going to say that. I'm going to give her the bestest guest ever. Because she came with a gift. Oh my God, guys.
We're in the season of breaking records, okay?
I mean, she has broken the records. Oh my God. Okay, I love all my guests. Right. But I think I'm just going to give her, she gave me a gift. So, anyways, I'm so happy to have you. And it's beautiful to see how we flow when it's like, I saw you at the GTV fashion fair. I say fashion.
Food and drinks,
Food and drinks, yeah. But like, it's amazing how it feels like I have a connection with you, even though it was like Instagram that we met, you know. Guys, yes, I met her on Instagram. And in fact, how did we even meet? How did we start talking?
I think you should scroll up your Instagram.
Actually, like, I think I should do that, guys.
But I think we followed each other for a while now, and don't even know.
I don't even like
how.
I'm trying, like, this is me scrolling through my Instagram, guys, to find out when we first. I know, and she's so good at gifting. Like, I was telling my producer, like, Nene, this is the second time Nene is giving me a gift, and I feel so sad.
Yeah, I think we flow also because you're in comms. So I feel like when you put up all those posts, just even before you went back to school, I could tell that, this is comms, babe. Okay, because I'm also in comms. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
So we started talking in 2021. Oh, because she replied to a story that I made. Okay. And then she replied to another one where she sent me drinks. Like, I was talking about my free daddy. Girl, you're so sweet. I don't know how to explain. Like, you're so sweet.
Thank you. I mean,
I don't, when it comes to relationships and friendships, I can be very, very to myself. And if I don't know somebody, it's until maybe I meet you in real life and then we gel. But if you, it's like, I have to be friends with this girl. And I see you on Instagram where it's like, you talk a lot about your friends, you post them a lot, you wear the outfit. I know there's somebody.
Sarah Castle.
Yes. I'm like, I'm going to buy something from this person one day simply because I see you tag her all the time and I think she's your friend. She's like, how do you do it? I feel like you're a friendship giver and like you're a bundle of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very big on relationships, right? So I'm very big on, keeping relationships and just, I'm not a cut people off person, even though like mistakes like that have probably happened in the past. Typically I'm not wired that way. So I have friends even from primary school, secondary school, jam class, university, every program I've done, everywhere I've worked, I have people that, I've just sort of resonated with and we are still very cool. So generally, I think that even where I am, even in my career, I think it's from relationships, through relationships. So it's people that have always referred me, mostly my friends, places that I know is my friends. So I feel like it's just relationships I need to navigate this life.
Wow.
And God. It's even still a relationship with God.
Yes.
So I feel like just with relationships, you're good. Yeah.
I think you're right, because sometimes when I think about certain things that I could have gotten, if only I just kept a relationship. It's like, I know people. I've had, just like you probably, I've worked with different people and I see people, I know them, but I can't necessarily reach for them because like, you've not kept a relationship with them. And so it feels so weird to try to reach out. Because I don't want to be that person like, hey, it's when you need me that I come in.
Exactly.
But like, I should have kept the relationship. So how do you keep the relationship? Because I feel like it takes a level of intentionality to do that.
It does. It's big on intentionality, true. I think I'm also someone that I make sure I go back to someone. So even if they've done something for me, I don't care if you've been friends with me for 20 years. I want to go back and say, thank you for this thing you did. I'm not just going to let it go. Like, you're my friend now. What, geez, hey, my guy. No, I like to be very intentional with, going back and being grateful. No matter how many times I come to your house, I still want to pop up and surprise you with something. I just want to add a spark here and there. Life is already tough enough.
Like,
I feel like it's just how I'm wired, really, because I like to, people's happiness also sort of translates to my happiness.
Wow.
I don't know what they call people like that.
Is it empaths or something?
I don't think I'm an empath, though.
I mean,
I don't think
okay,
so.
I'll have to find out that
with my
one.
friends, I'm very, I like to be intentional. I set alarms to call them, especially the ones that are not in the country. I stay up for the ones that are in Canada.
Wow.
That kind of thing. I, find a way. If you tell me something is wrong, I don't want to shove it and just think, oh, because you're my friend. And I have good friends too that think like me. So I think it helps because they call me out on certain things that I do wrong. They show me equally the same kind of love.
Yeah.
So I feel like I learn from them and, I also show them that kind of thing.
I mean, I can imagine because if I do something for someone, I mean, yeah, they say don't think about it, don't do things to get something.
Yeah.
But if I'm that friend who, like you're staying up to call your friends, checking up on them and all of that, and they don't do it back, I think I'll feel bad or probably withdraw. Does that happen to you? Or you don't mind?
Honestly, it depends. So I know I have fallen out. I've fallen out of some friendships. So it's not like I have it all figured out, right? So for some people, we all started out great, right? Maybe a clique. And for some reason, maybe one person now starts acting funny. I just like to, in as much as I like to show up for my friends, I like to put them in different categories in my head. So to be honest, I don't expect too much from some people, but it doesn't also stop the way I would show up for them. If I'm going to show up for you, I'm going to show up for you regardless.
Wow.
But I just know that this one, you will still do what you want to do. So I don't really expect much from those kind of people. I have certain expectations. So I know people say, oh, don't have expectations from people and whatever. Yeah, I get where that's coming from. I know it also helps with peace of mind, but I also have depends on what category I put you in. And then if you don't do that, I'm happy to say, oh, I was expecting you to do this now. You didn't do it. It now also depends on how you take it. Because again, we're friends. So we're not going by all this Instagram definition of friendship. Like,
Tell me about
goodbye. Once a friend leave. You should be able to talk and say, okay, fine, sorry. Even if nobody wants to say sorry, we'll move on and find a common ground. So that's about it. You just know people that are down for you and categorize them accordingly. Everybody will be all right.
Yeah. I agree with the need to categorize because at the end of the day, there's a degree to even how you can love people fiercely.
Yeah.
That's what I think. So and they're acquaintances too.
Yeah.
There are people who might not necessarily be friends, but like you get to know them and keep in touch. But then my question is, have you always been like this?
Have I?
Because I feel like why I asked that question is because I feel like now as I grow older, I'm now realizing it's like, because sometimes I sit down and I think about myself. There are only a few people from my secondary school that I could still relate to right now. Not because they are bad people, but somehow I've just lost touch with them. Somehow we probably were never even close. Even now as I'm doing my master, sometimes I think to myself, how many people am I going to still talk to in a few months? Because some of them probably don't even like me. And I don't like them. And all of us are in the class. I don't know if it's like a thing in me where it's like friendships are hard for me. And then there are people like you who are born like this, where it's like you're just a friend person.
Yeah, I think I'm just a bubbly person. And maybe people are drawn to me as well. As much as I'm also, in their faces. So I think it goes both ways. I've not always been like this, but I've always been the social child. Like I've been I and my brothers, like I'm the one that you can, when we come in a room, I'm the best conversationalist, for example. Like I can start a conversation. I can, check on you. I'm also checking. There's something they call it in Igbo when you're proactive with what you're doing. So if you tell me, oh, you're going somewhere, and maybe you get up, I can say, oh, is it that place you're going to? Like, it just shows that I'm interested in what you said earlier. It's not like you're just talking to a stick, so I'm interested. Oh, where are you headed? Are you going to the mainland? Okay, so how you go? I'm just someone that will keep the conversation going. So I think that's someone I've always been. But as regards friendship, I think the more I grew up, the more I just understood the importance of relationships, to be fair, because every point in my life, like even when I went for my youth service where I stayed, every job I've done in this life, none has come through submitting CV.
Wow.
None. In fact, the one that I would say, oh, the CV went through was someone that told me and said, oh, check this place, send your CV. They pushed me. They even reviewed my CV, reviewed my offer letter. So it's always been somebody So the moment I realized that, because, you can just look back, and I heard you talk about journaling as well, because I write those things. I know the names of people that have helped me too. I write them down.
Wow.
Yeah, so that I do right to by them. It's not like I would do wrong by others, but I need to do right by those ones especially, because they've also prioritized me. So yes, it's always people that have, shown up for me somewhere, with accommodation, with places I've lived, with every job I've done, freelance and even full-time people.
Wow. Like, I can relate to that because I've seen it work. I mean, just a few minutes ago, we're talking about Tinubu and how this guy, despite how he feels like the whole Nigeria is sad, there's still people who are in for him, who are supporting him. And most of them are people who he has probably done. So he has just surrounded himself with network and relation. I think that guy stands on relationship. Whatever it is that he has done, he has probably given somebody's father, helped somebody. And even in, I mean, I would not be foolish I would like to say, to not recognize the fact that relationships, you get to a certain level in your life and that's it. It's relationships that actually take you the most far. And I struggle with it. Like,
I think you're doing well, Jessica. I think you are. I watch your stories. I watch your WhatsApp stories as well. I think you're doing well. You talk about your friends with so much love. Even if you just started, maybe that day I watched it. I don't know. But it was, when I watched it, I just knew that, okay, this person also recognizes, this thing about friendships and relationships. Honestly, for me, when I see people like that, I know they understand. I can be friends with them because they also understand the gravity that comes with having a friend. I can't just be in your life and you be doing anyhow. So when I meet people like that, I know that, oh, this person understands what it means to be in a relationship.
I mean, to be fair, I think that I have, as I grow older, that's the thing of growing older, and then you realize that, oh, come back. You've been doing rubbish all this time. And then also I think another big thing I realized, and I started to give my friends grace. I used to be that person who was like, oh, because again, I'm very social in terms that you see me post on Instagram and all that. And then I used to feel in a certain type of way, which is what I said when I said, like, when people don't reciprocate, you post to your friends and all that. And then you realize, but they don't post me. It's like, they don't want to talk about me, blah, blah. And then it got to a point where I realized they're not necessarily like you. Because they show up for me in other ways. Expecting them to show up for me the way I show up for them. It's like, nah, because our personalities are different. Like the other day I hosted 20-somethings rant hangout, and they were my friends. Most of them were my friends. People who came through for me, like supported in kinds and in money, were my friends. And they don't necessarily have to post, or they didn't post or something. But it came through for me in ways beyond social media. And that for me, I think the realization that allow people to love you the way they know how to. I mean, you can tell them, oh, do this for me or something, but don't judge them based on your own parameters because you could just destroy a friendship. And just like you said, social media friendship and all the advice and cut people off and
they know too much. That place.
Especially Twitter. It's like, what the? How are you people so knowledgeable in everything? Like, and then you, oh God, I feel like if I should go into the conversation about Twitter, we would not leave here today. But before we even go further into other discussions, because when Nene came in, she's like, let's just rant, guys. We're going to be ranting about different things. But before we go into that, I mean, I feel like there are people who struggle with friendships. What advice would you give them on how to, build better friendships? Because like we already talked about the importance of having friends. Because I'm going to you just made me feel very special today. Nene give me a beautiful cake. I'm going to post it, guys. And it just made me feel special. So like what would you say people should do to build better friendships?
I think people should just be themselves. I think that you would attract your people when you're just yourself. You don't need to go out of your way to be a kind of person. I know that people also tell me, oh, you're big on friendship on social media. I also noticed that, some people on social media try to maybe be my friend, that kind of thing. Because again, they believe
your friend
is very, and I can understand that, I show up. I like that. And my friends show up as well. I like that you acknowledge that, they don't have to show up the way I show up. I was telling someone the other day that I don't think I have any friend that can show up the way I show up for my friends' weddings. Listen, it's my wedding. I'm here. It's like when I enter the reception, I'm just like, Nene is here. that everybody should just relax. And then has come. I don't think I have any friend that will show up like that. I was like me. But I understand that. I acknowledge that. And I like what you said about grace. So going back to that, you just be yourself. You don't have to, and just nurture the friendship you have around you already. Honestly, going out of your way, you see people online. There are other influencers and celebrities that we know that are big on friendships, and you want to be their friend, but you're not even paying attention to your G that has come through for you in several ways. You don't even take notes. You think it's normal. You don't even know anything. When people show you Pepe,
Tell me about it.
No, it's not normal. When someone goes out of their way to be somewhere for you or show up for your mom's anniversary.
Or even show up for your podcast. This thing that I do here every day. I mean, because when I started with my friends first. I'm like, I'm going to call all my friends.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Thank you. It's so necessary to acknowledge that
and
start nurturing the friends that you have already. Trust me, there are very good people out there. People are, human beings are great people. You just need to see and nurture the ones that are around you.
Yeah.
Acknowledge every little thing that they do. I tell people that you pick up your phone to say, hi, Nene. Just checking on you. It's a big deal. This life, do you know how many things are going through my head? Like this, like that you just Nene entered your head and I have friends that would say, I was praying now and, I just felt a nudge to call you. You can shake the nudge off. You don't have to call me. So I amplify, that's the word. I amplify every deed from people. I amplify it. I make it look big so that I understand that it's not normal.
Yes.
If it's normal, everyone will be doing it. But guess what? Not everyone is doing it. Yeah. So, that's one. Be yourself. Nurture friendship. Nurture your friends already. Amplify good deeds. And I guess, everything will just fall in place, honestly. By the time you nurture your friends, you can understand kind of people they are, how to show up for them.
Yeah.
If it's buying gifts, if it's being, at their occasions, or even tiny as calling them. You don't even check up on people. You now say, nobody checks up on me. When they now call you with manager, you now say, so it's now you're remembering me. Stop that bad habit. Actually, that's bad behavior now. Like, you did not call. You did not call me, so I'll not call you. You did not post me, so I'll not post you. And okay, no problem. If you act like that, you'll find friends like that. Me, I don't behave like that. So I don't have those kind of friends in my corner. So I think it just goes hand in hand.
Plus, a big thing that you mentioned is being interested in people.
Yeah.
I think, we're having a class and somebody talked about networking and the lecturer said, be interested in people.
Yeah.
Like, forget yourself in that moment and just ask them about themselves. Because people like to talk about themselves. People like themselves. So the moment they realize that you like them enough to know that, I said I'm going here. And so they try to gravitate towards you. And that for me is like something that I'm trying to do. It's like, I listen to you. I follow closely what you do, what things that you like. And then I try to love you.
There's a lot of intentionality.
Yes,
you need to just be in the moment. I know that for some people, even people I work with, like, if I work with a photographer, for example, a stylist, and they say, I'm heading home, and I notice I get home late, or maybe we shoot into the night or whatever, I remind myself to go and buzz them and say, have you gotten home? Doesn't matter that we just walked and left that place. Yeah. I want to know because you told me that you were going home, maybe on the mainland or somewhere, beggar. I want to know that you're back, you're home. I want to remind if I forget that night, in the morning, it's coming to mind. It's a lot of work to pick up your phone, to start following up with chats, but you just have to do it if you know you want people to know that, you're interested in them and to nurture that
relationship. Are definitely intentional.
Yeah, it is.
You have to be intentional.
It is.
And you need to like the person, which is now going to lead me to the next question of like, how do you choose the people that you're friends? Because I feel like you just mentioned something of, I could easily look at your stories and say, yes, this girl is very friendly with somebody. Okay, let me now just try my arms of being friends with her. So, but I'm sure that, you'll probably look at some values or things, the kind of people that you want, surround yourself. So what are you big on when it comes to friendship? When you look at the person, how do you say this person's going to be my friend? This person's not going to be my friend. This person's just going to be on level 1, level 2.
Oh my God, that's true. Level 1. What are the values I don't, because I have different friends. You don't necessarily, I'm a believer, for example, but I have friends that are not, they're not yet there.
Yeah.
And I have friends that maybe are not even interested at this time, but I'm still friends with them. So I don't think that's it. I think maybe also it's just, I just want to see a bit of intentionality. I think that's it for me. because even my friends, like I say, I have great friends as well. They reciprocate these things, maybe not to the same intensity as I do, but I also know that they are great people and they also prioritize my happiness. They also want the best for me.
Okay.
Right. So I think once I start talking to a new person, because I saw it somewhere that adult friendships are very difficult to make.
They are.
I know, because some of these friends, I've had them over the years.
Yeah.
But I tried it. When I saw that and I said, you know what, I'm going to try this thing. So that it's not like I've had friends since and it's like, oh,
no
you
new
can't sit
friends.
with us.
Yeah.
It's not that. So I said, okay, you know what, I'm going to try it. And I probably tried it with you.
I mean, I'm gone. I'm gone. You know.
I probably tried it with you. I tried it with someone in church recently, you know, and we're friends now. We can say we're friends. Went to the movies the other time.
Wow.
And it's just because, you know, it's the same principle everywhere.
But then, do you like, I mean, if somebody randomly comes to your Instagram now and says, I want to be your friend, what will you respond to that?
Hi.
After hi.
And then maybe after 2 days, I come back. Because it's a gradual process. That's so creepy. I want to be your friend.
I mean, some people do it. I get messages like that. You seem like a good person. Something like, I want to be your friend.
No, I think that's where the problem is. You need to ease into people's lives. You know, just ease your way into people's lives. You can't just at this hour and at this age. Like, no, I want to be your friend. It sounds like what all those, I don't know. It just sounds, it sounds off. I feel like it's also interest. What you said about being interested in people.
Yeah.
You said I replied your stories. Maybe something that I saw that was interesting and I had something valuable to say at that time. And then I saw when you posted another thing of what you needed and then I came in. So I think that's how to pace yourself. You can't just barge into people's lives. They already have friends. They most probably already have friends.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in no new friends, for example. Like I said, I tried it out again. You can accommodate as many people in your lives. I know people believe in small circles as well. Keep your circle small. Keep your this. Me, I like to say I have pockets of small circles. That's what I like to say. So I always have, like, my WhatsApp group. I have different girls groups. I have I have baby girls. I have not just another WhatsApp group. I'm sure they'll be laughing when they hear this. I have the ones from secondary school. I have the ones from uni.
Yeah.
I have the ones from church. And we are all, like, I am tight with them. Now, if I have an event, because we are all amazing people, because first of all, for us to be friends, we're already cool. That event can bring everybody together and then we mix up. So I'm friends with my friend's friend. You know, I've gotten businesses from my friend's friend, you know, and that's how somehow I become their friends too.
Yeah.
So that's how I think it can spread. I don't know about that. Just, keep your circles. I it's probably from somewhere. Maybe I don't understand it. I like to just say it like that. Maybe I don't, but I don't know that, you can't have any other friend. Is he cult?
I think that some people are just very closed off to the idea. And some people tell you that they've been burnt before, where it's like,
it's true.
Because friendship breakups are hard.
I've experienced it.
Breakups are hard.
It's more painful than the boyfriend's type. No, I've experienced it before. It's very painful.
Like one that happened to me recently, and I feel like it's left a dent in our friendship, even though no hate here, right?
Yeah.
It was like somebody who traveled abroad.
Yeah.
And then, I had known about it, but I didn't know when it was going to happen. And then I only found out a few days, and it wasn't from her. It was from another friend who's like, let's do something for her. She's going. I'm like, she's going where? I'm like, she hasn't told you. I'm like, no. And today now, I regret the fact that we didn't get to hang out eventually because I was too hot to want to hang out eventually. I'm like, even though I could have probably sprung things around to do something, I was just like, nah, I'm not going to come through.
Yeah.
And just because I felt very, it kind of way, like there's something about liking somebody as your friend and believing that they like you back. Yeah. And this is a conversation that happens on Twitter every day where it's like, what will you do if your friend jackbars and leaves you and doesn't tell you? And then you find out later. It's like, I would be hurt.
Yeah, I will be.
I would be especially if you're somebody I call a friend and we've been chatting, we're good. It's like, do you think I'm the one that's doing to make your plane not fly?
It almost translates that you don't trust me. And I would think like friendships are built on trust. So what are we doing?
Exactly.